You're watching Here to Stay TV, brought to you by BridgeStreet.com. I'm with Mark Anderson. He's a managing director with Whitbread, and they have a lot of assets. And what I find really different and interesting is in the United States and around the world, a lot of hotel companies have focused on what we call an asset-light strategy. The whole idea of just charging fees and not actually doing property ownership. You folks are taking the opposite approach and have a big belief in owning the assets. Why are you going one way when everyone else and common knowledge says, hey, we got to go the other?
Okay. Well, I guess the big difference from us is that's where we've come from.
Right.
So we're not necessarily heading in the other direction. It's more a case of that's where we've come from. So we've always owned real estate as an organisation. We currently own about 5 billion sterling of real estate. That's about 600 hotels, but primarily in the UK. So we are a domestic business. We own a big business in the UK through Premier in our economy hotel business, but we don't have international portfolios. We have just one network of hotels in the UK. We think that owning the assets gives us real control. It gives us control on a direct relationship with our customers. We have control on when we can refurbish the assets. We have there a asset base that we can tap if we need to. So if we want to raise some cash to invest in new markets or new concepts, we have a ready balance sheet there of credit that we can tap. But more importantly, it's about that control. It's about us and making sure that when we want to invest, when we want to refurbish, we can do so. When we want to cut back expenditure, we can do so. We do use leasing as a way of reducing the cash commitment that we have to make into property. But we believe that having the occupation as well as the ownership is the right model for us. Also, because we're growing very rapidly at the moment, so we're opening about 50 hotels a year in the UK, the balance sheet is very strong of Whitbread because of all these assets we own, and that means that we can raise cash at a very competitive rate, which means that the improvement we get through our investment is very good. So we're kind of in a circle of owning assets, low cost of borrowing, investing, great returns, which means we can open more hotels, and so that's our cycle.
Right, and speaking of opening more hotels, you're coming into the German market, and that's where we are right now. We're in Germany at IHIF, a big hospitality industry financial conference. Why Germany? There's so many countries to go into. What are the fundamentals of the market that you're finding so appealing?
So we operate a business in the Middle East at the moment. We've got a few economy brands in the hotels in the Middle East. That's quite a difficult market at the moment. You know, the market's getting oversupplied, so rate is coming off in the hotel space. Also, some of the main contributors to the economic growth in the Middle East, oil primarily and gas, the pricing's coming off a bit. So some of those economic stimulants are slowing. In Germany, we're finding the opposite. We think it's a very large hotel market. It's very stable economically. There's lots of growth still in the market, and actually supply hasn't kept up with demand over the last few years. Also, about 3/4 of the market is still owned by independent hoteliers, and the brands are not yet well penetrated into the core cities. And then we think there's a real opportunity for value hotels. You know, we're seeing the economy budget hotel space really opening up, and there's a nice gap. And we think the German consumers really value for money. They like it. So if you can offer them a good product in a great location, but for a fair price, it seems to be something that we think will be attractive.
And I think that's something that's around the world. Everybody wants a good value for a good dollar, and for you guys to be in a great position to make some money with that heavy asset strategy. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Glenn Hausman for Here to Stay TV.